Every morning from San Diego to Eureka, from the coast to the Sierras, truckers are loading rigs to deliver cargo throughout California. Trucks move over 80% of all commercial cargo in the state, and diesel-fueled trucks transport a majority of those goods. Hello, I'm Scott Blevins, President of the California Trucking Association, and where you find trucks moving commerce, you'll find CTA. Since 1934, as America's largest state trucking association, CTA has been proud to count among its members Fortune 500 companies, small multi-generation family-owned transportation businesses, and independent truck owners and operators. 1 in 11 working Californians has a job directly related to the trucking industry. During the past 4 years, our industry has created and sustained more jobs than most industries in California. So as long as California's trucks are rolling forward, so will California's economy.
The trucking industry has become an emerging technology leader. And in the last 10 years, the industry has reduced truck emission levels by well over 90% nationwide. Today, truck engine manufacturers and fuel producers are working to create a greener transportation industry. And as a California trucker, that makes me proud.
The trucking industry will spend close to $1 billion a year over the next 10 years to reduce pollution levels even more in California. That says a lot about CTA's commitment to making the air that my family breathes cleaner.
In 2007, the California Air Resources Board began drafting regulations to implement the Low Carbon Fuel Standard, or LCFS. The LCFS mandates a 10% reduction in the carbon intensity of California's diesel and gasoline fuel supplies by the year of 2020. Every diesel fuel recipe since 1990 has required fuel producers to make modifications at their refineries, and the industry was able to accomplish this. Now, CARB is asking fuel providers to supply fuels that they are not in the business of making, like electricity, or find some new liquid fuel that goes easily into our trucks. Most oil companies currently overcomply with today's clean gasoline and use credits to comply with their diesel requirements. But these new tighter standards require new fuels that don't exist. This misguided fuel regulation threatens the supply of our fuel and the very survival of California's trucking industry. To achieve this goal requires diesel fuel be blended with the right kind of biofuels.
The state's latest actions are unfair. Unelected bureaucrats in Sacramento have created a bad fuel policy. That policy raises the price I pay for diesel fuel only in California. All in the name of reducing global greenhouse gases. I can't clean up the pollution in places like India and China, so why am I paying for their pollution? Does anyone really think these countries will follow California's bad fuel policy?
3 separate and independent studies analyzing the low carbon fuel standard have cast serious doubt on the program's ability to be implemented and its effectiveness. The studies, using data provided by the California Energy Commission, prove that the LCFS regulation is unfeasible. There is no way to comply. In the end, California truckers are again the victims.
The California Air Resources Board Low Carbon Fuel Standard creates a boutique fuel only for California. It increases the cost of fuel to California's businesses and consumers. It makes the state's agricultural and manufacturing products less competitive on the world market, and it drives the movement of goods to other states who are eagerly awaiting the expansion of the Panama Canal. At a time when we need jobs, it puts good businesses and good jobs in this state at a greater risk of disappearing.
Today we pay the highest price in the nation for California's blend of fuel. But even if CARB's newer fuels could someday be produced, the cost of production could force diesel at the pump to skyrocket an additional $2.50 per gallon, reaching levels upwards of $6.50 per gallon. It's not just truckers that suffer, it's all California consumers. The studies show that the quantities of biofuel needed to blend with diesel to meet California's truck fleet demands fall far, far short and would not achieve the Air Resources Board's 10% carbon reduction target for gasoline or diesel.
Even the federal government recalculated its own mandated deadline for certain biofuels because there is simply not enough commercially available to blend into California gasoline and diesel. Headlines like these could very well be written about California's low carbon fuel standard. Actually, let's call it a phantom fuel because right now, no one can buy it at the pump. At a recent industry and government fuel symposium, California Air Resources board member Dr. Dan Sperling, an author of the new fuel policy, admitted that the fuel won't be available for some time, will require innovation, and called for an alternative compliance fuel tax to spur that innovation. To you and me, that's just another name for a new gas tax.
We are all concerned about greenhouse gases, but it is painfully clear to me and the members of the California Trucking Association that the Air Resources Board's single-minded pursuit of an unattainable goal as mandated by the Low Carbon Fuel Standard is overreaching. The California Air Resources Board continues to ignore realities. In the end, legitimate fears of supply interruptions and spikes in fuel prices just in California create unfair competition that benefits companies fueling up in bordering states. It's the perfect virus that will weaken California's already anemic economy. It's time to pause and review this regulation before permanent damage is caused. CTA believes a workable solution can be reached, a solution that benefits all Californians, but not without the leadership and guidance of our state legislature and governor. Thank you.